Thank you, everybody, for holding down the fort yesterday, and a job extremely well done. And we're getting set to get you to this game, and it should be, let's put it this way, this one has all the makings of a classic between these two teams, and it starts with the quarterback in Kansas City. The only blemish on the postseason resume of Patrick Mahomes, a loss to the Patriots. Mahomes, the only player in postseason history to account for at least 13 touchdowns and 0 turnovers. And he'll have help from the speediest core of wide receivers in the sport. The Chiefs, the only team with 3 different receivers, hit 21 miles an hour on a reception this year. And according to our analytics, that has the makings of a winning combination. ESPN's Football Power Index predicts a 5-point win for Kansas City and a 65% overall chance of victory. Now, our friends at Caesars Sportsbook agree, but they're not going nearly as far. They have it a much closer game. You see it there, 1.5 points. Kansas City has been favored in 15 games this year. This is the first time they've been favored by fewer than 3 points. And Pat McAfee has joined the party here, as he will and has throughout this entire football season.
Coffee.
But here's where we're going to go. And Swagoo, I'm going to start with you. I don't just want you to tell me who's going to win this game, but I want you to tell me why.
Look, first of all, G, this reminds me of LSU Clemson. And for preference later, everybody pay attention to Rex pick because he was wrong a few weeks ago about it.
Well, which is very rare.
I'm taking shots early, Rex. I'm very getting ready for Baker when he show up. But anyway, G, this is a classic does defense win championship question, right? And I don't think so. Kansas City offense right now, man, it's like when you got it's like them cartoons when you got leaks all over a pot and you're putting one out and the other one start hitting you in the face, and then you put 2 fingers out, and then you get 10 fingers up there and you realize I ain't got no more damn fingers and it's still leaking. That's what Kansas City offense is. So I just think this matchup really results in Patrick Mahomes and what Kansas City Chiefs offense has done all season long.
Rex, I turn to you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree that Kansas City is ridiculous on offense. They really are. But I'm going to go back to Bill Walsh told me many years ago, you build a team that can rush the passer in the fourth quarter. That's why he was the first guy that would have 9, 10 defensive linemen active for games. San Francisco is the only team with 9 active defensive linemen. And by the way, 5 of those guys are former first-round picks. So they have the depth to get after it. When most teams that Kansas City plays, they can't stay with it. And so that's why I like the 49ers here. He also said to me that you have to have 11 good players on defense, and you don't have to have 11 good ones on offense. So maybe they're not quite as explosive as Kansas City is on offense, but they did score more points in the regular season. Are we just going to ignore the fact that this team's a balanced football team? I think in the end they win the game.
I will give Rex Ryan a credit to this degree. You were the first person I heard on our show start singing the praises of the 49ers. Early this season, week 5, you said to me, they're the best team in the NFL, and you've never backed off it. So you were on San Francisco long before most people were on the 49ers.
Right, no, and I just see those facts that it's a complete team, the ability to run the football with multiple backs. And by the way, their passing game is really underrated. And then on defense, they've been absolutely terrific.
Let me get Pat in here. Who's going to win this game, and more importantly, why?
Well, I respect the hell out of William Walsh, okay? I think he's an OG of the football community. I also respect your brain. You're a defensive guy. You have to go with the defensive team. But in 2020 here, in Super Bowl 54, the game is skewed towards an offensive football game. I mean, that's just the way it is. 5 of the last 7 Super Bowls have hit the over. Offense wins you championships at this point, and there's been no offense as of late that has been as efficient as the Kansas City Chiefs. 12 of their last 17 possessions have resulted in touchdowns. Not just a score, not a field goal, which is obviously electric. 12 of the last 17 possessions have resulted in a touchdown. I just don't know how you stop that. Defense wins championships was a cliche for a long time. But now in the world, in the league that we live in, it is skewed towards the offense. Whether it's for fantasy, whether it's for safety, whatever it is, and Andy Reid pulling the strings, this offense is just too damn powerful. For the first time in 50 years, the Chiefs arrive at the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs win a Super Bowl and get a massive monkey off the back of Andy Reid.
The 49ers have the best team. They have the deepest team, the toughest team. But the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. And if you were around them yesterday at their media day and you heard the way they spoke, they feel like they are walking into that stadium on Sunday to receive that trophy on Sunday night. I heard tremendous confidence, more confidence than you normally hear from a team in the Super Bowl week. It sounded like they believe their right here is to go get that trophy on Sunday night and bring it back to Kansas City for the parade.
I don't love that, by the way.
You don't love it.
I don't love hearing the fact that they're just like expecting to win.
are.
I don't love that at all. I was on a team that got a chance to play in the Super Bowl in this city, and I believe we're going to watch a magical moment of my life here in a couple minutes. But we had this feeling. We went undefeated until we chose to lose to your team, and then we kept rolling, and we thought we had a great team, but there was never a moment of thinking that we were content or going to win, and we lost. I couldn't even fathom having the confidence of thinking you're going to win.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though, Kafi.
Yeah, Bub.
Wasn't Drew Brees the other quarterback?
He was.
And his baby were up there on the thing. I mean, it was a terrible memory. That's why I'm only here for 23 hours.
That's a terribly different comparison.
Well, as you will see, we have pretty much or just about our entire football crew with us here this morning to give you picks and analysis and insight. Laura, take it over to our other field.
Yeah, it's been a postseason to remember for Patrick Mahomes, throwing 8 touchdowns with no interceptions in victories over the Titans and Texans, making highlight reel plays, moving out of the pocket, making it easy, too, for his offensive players such as Tyreek Hill. Here's what Hill has to say about Mahomes.
Oh, I'm running to the touchdown all day, man, because Pat is special, and he can make every throw on the field, you know, and that's what makes our job so easy. All we got to do is just go out there and get open. And once the play breaks down, shoot deep, because that's Pat's mindset. He's trying to throw it deep every time, you know. He's trying to show people, hey, I got a big arm. Hey, I can roll to the right and throw all the way to the left, 80 yards.
The boys in blue over here, Dan Orlovsky, Dominic Foxworth, and Booger McFarland from Monday Night Football. Dan, there are a lot of quarterbacks who are able to move in the pocket, move out of the pocket, but what makes Mahomes so special when he does that?
Well, he does it to break your heart and take your soul. And that's the reality is when Patrick Mahomes gets out of the pocket, oftentimes it's on purpose. And it's to create space, it's create time for the people and those receivers. And then he can just make throws and do throws off balance that other quarterbacks can't do. And the receivers that are tied to him completely understand that. And they're aware of how they should move to windows with Patrick moving. Now, oftentimes when quarterbacks break the pocket, everyone's like, move with them. A lot of times the Chiefs will move away from Patrick because he can make all those crazy throws. And the reality is this, there is no scheme, there is no X's and O's for a defense when a quarterback breaks down. Everyone says plaster until they have to do it, right? And so there's nothing that you can do to truly defend when Mahomes breaks the pocket.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Those are the scramble rules for a defensive back is you find the closest person and you become man coverage. The scramble rules for receivers is normally short guys go deep, deep guys come back. Yeah. The problem when you're on the defense is you have to keep those guys in front of you when you're playing against them. You want to invite him to run. Don't worry about it. If they gain 20 yards, cool. Because he's capable, as we've all said and we've all seen, he's capable of rolling right and throwing it 40, 50 yards downfield to the left and getting a touchdown. So most of the time you get excited when your D-line gets pressure, but I would get nervous if I'm a DB and you see Patrick Mahomes outside the pocket. You want him to run, not throw that thing.
You know, I think the biggest thing that we're all saying is Patrick Mahomes is great, and I think we know that.
Yeah.
But we've seen other great quarterbacks, and the kryptonite for all great quarterbacks is to be hit in the mouth with pressure. I don't care. The greatest of all time, Tom Brady, we faced him, and when Freeney and Mathis got in his face, he wasn't so great. Right. And so this matchup has Patrick Mahomes, who is great. But I still think, and I know defense is old and antiquated and outplayed and all those good things, but football still at its core is about getting pressure on the quarterback.
Right.
And that's not a scheme.
I agree.
That's just defeating the man in front of you and making that quarterback's internal clock speed up.
No one disagrees with you.
But here's the thing. I think it is a little bit different than the way we used to think that way 10, 15, 20 years ago. Is Andy Reid and coaches have so much caught up to that. And the rules are different. Nowadays, you can't get your hands on those receivers as much as you wanted to. So the quick pass does minimize that pass rush a little bit. And I think, we've talked all week about the 49ers pass rush, as we should. It's the best in the league. But this is one of the, if not the best offensive lines in the NFL when it comes to pass protection. Andy Reid has coached against really good pass rushes in the past. It's not like they're going to ask those 5 offensive linemen, hey, you guys just hold up by yourself.
To the point that Rex made earlier, you need 11 good players on defense. It's the same sort of thought in plays. It's like a defensive play, if you get a sack, that's great. That's all fine and good. But if they make a big play, it's worth 6 points. So that's the thing that makes me nervous about Patrick Mahomes specifically. I think we're underselling the KC defensive front. They're going to get pressure also. They're a great pass defense. They're going to get pressure also on Garoppolo. I'm more scared of what happens to Garoppolo under pressure than I am what happens to Mahomes under pressure.
I'll give you an example. The last time I faced an offense like this was the Greatest Show on Turf.
Yeah.
Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Kurt Warner, all those different guys. Marshall Faulk, here's what we did. We played cover 2, zone defense. We rushed him, and we hit him in the mouth. The first play of the game, Derek Brooks broke Torrey Holt's rib, okay?
Oh, Jesus.
Hit him. He hit him. These guys, Mecole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, these guys, they want to play basketball on grass. They don't want to play football at its core, which is a
How do you catch up with them, though? They're so fast.
Better not let them play fast break foot basketball.
The difference is Kurt Warner is a statue in the pocket, and you get pressure on Kurt Warner in the pocket. What are you going to do? You get pressure on Patrick Mahomes, he can break the pocket and make you pay.
When it comes to Mahomes, and I've said this, you as a coordinator can call the right play, and all 11 guys can do it the right way, and Mahomes is such a good quarterback, it won't matter, and that's the difficulty for the defense.
It sounds like the 49ers have no chance whatsoever.
Hey, listen, we're going to get these guys' picks, of course, later on in the show. You'll hear from them.
You're gonna pick 'em? Don't be scared
I
now.
don't know if he's going to pick them, but either way, from a future GOAT,